Welcome to another episode of Fill in the Blank. I'm joined by Evan.
I did not have cornflakes for breakfast.
You should have had your daily dose of cornflakes. What makes the proper breakfast?
Not what I just fucking had. God.
Sausage egg McMuffin?
Yeah.
It's a way to go. It seems like America's a little bit into fast food a little more than... I guess it's just convenient.
Super convenient.
It's like a Hot
super
Pocket.
fucking I gotta cut it out, guys.
It's killing you.
It will kill me one day.
Slowly
I'm cutting it out.
you.
I'm cutting it out now. Cut it. Kill me. Cut the podcast. No, God.
This topic of conversation is called cornflakes. We're going to be talking, this fill in the blank is going to be specifically on cornflakes. So, what about cornflakes do you know?
Um,
Do you like them? It's a flaky
yeah, I
food?
do like them.
Really? Any specific type of cornflakes, or are you a Frosted Flakes type of guy?
Well, I prefer Frosted Flakes, obviously, but, like, yeah, I could just, like, sometimes I'm just, like, feeling like I've just been, like, I've just had, like, a fucking night of drinking or something. I'm like, yeah, I want something, like, bland.
Nothing's better than a glass of cereal, and I'd eat cereal dry or with milk.
Milk. Yeah.
I'd eat it dry.
Cornflakes dry might even
It's
be
just
better
like
than...
trail mix, kind of
Yeah.
crunchy.
It's good.
Well, cornflakes are a breakfast cereal made by toasting flakes of corn maize. The cereal was created by John Harvey Kellogg in 1894 as a food that thought it would be healthy for the patients of the Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan, where he was the superintendent. The breakfast cereal proved popular among the patients, and the Kellogg community, or company, was set up by Dr. John's brother, Will Kellogg, to produce more cornflakes for the wider public. A patent for the process was granted in 1896. So just a nice tasty cereal, Nothing sketchy there. With cornflakes becoming popular in the wilder community, a previous patient at the sanitarium, C.W. Post, stated to make rival products, Kellogg continued to experiment, and various ingredients were added and different grains were used in 1928. He started to manufacture Rice Krispies, another successful breakfast cereal.
Another really, really good
Everybody
cereal.
likes that snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
You dump it into the milk, and you hear that crackling of the milk in the cereal.
I used to eat that shit with sugar, and now, no.
That's
Too
good.
sweet. It's
Cutting
good.
it out. There are many generic brands of cornflakes produced by various manufacturers, as well as being used as a breakfast cereal. The crushed flakes can be a substitute for breadcrumbs in recipes and can be incorporated into many descriptions. So, the whole theory that I wanted to get behind is, they said he made it for a sanitarium or one of those insane places. That's what it is. Do you know what actually the whole purpose behind it was, his idea? That Kellogg's Flakes were so bland, it would stop people from masturbating. Isn't that nuts?
Jesus Christ. Like,
the whole idea
That's so-
behind having such a bland cereal, making it so it would bland your taste to the point where you wouldn't want to touch yourself anymore.
see, that's so obviously never gonna work, though, because humans survive off, like, fucking potatoes and that's it. And, like, hey, they didn't stop having sex.
Well, they added better ways to spice it up, but he linked that sugar was the main cause. And his brother wanted to add sugar to his cornflakes, and he was like, no, that people are going to be masturbating left and right. Like, we're going to have an epidemic on our hands.
Oh, God.
But that whole theory, just the whole cornflakes idea, was that they were pouring this corn into a bowl, and someone put milk in there and let it sit too long. It became like this flaked, like, thing, like this type of cereal that was, like, mushy. And that's how it became created, but he thought it was a bland way of being able to feed these patients and make sure that he was testing it on the patients, but he's just testing it with cornflakes. I'll be in that test subject. Jesus.
See, cornflake, like, having something, like, bland and simple, it's just it's a nice base, you know? You don't want to be eating, like, crazy, super tasty shit all the time, you know? Like, you need that base.
So, the story of cornflakes goes back to the late 19th century, when a team of Seventh-day Adventists began to develop new foods to adhere to the vegetarian diet recommended by the church. Members of the group experimented with a number of different grains, including wheat, oats, rice, barley, and maize. In 1984, John Harvey Kellogg, the superintendent of Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan, and an advocate used these recipes as part of a strict vegetarian regime for his patients, which also included no alcohol, tobacco, or caffeine. The diet he imposed consisted entirely of bland foods. A follower of Sylvester Graham, the inventor of the graham crackers and graham bread, believed their spicy or sweet foods would increase passions. So that's where we talk about masturbating. So the guy that invented graham crackers also believed that if you gave something with sugar in it to somebody, that's going to increase their passion to touch themselves. So they made this bland graham cracker,
touching yourself.
And then some guy was like, let's put chocolate and a marshmallow on that sucker and spice it up. And then Graham's like, oh God.
Because you need that base, you know? You got that nice kind of cinnamony, delicious graham base, and then the musty... So fuck touching yourself, you know? Passion's like...
Eat a brick.
Eat
something that has no taste.
You get your passion... Like, why live?
Well, you looked at me...
If that were how it really worked, then why would you live?
You looked at me when we started this podcast, and I said cornflakes. And you were like, what the hell are we going to talk about cornflakes for 30 minutes? Like, how are you going to make this a factual thing? It's a freaking cereal. Like, oh, you're going to go into... It's going to be a boring podcast. I bet you half the people that were started listening in the beginning were like, I'm not listening to cornflakes. But they didn't know. It's hidden secret of how it started. The dark history behind... The man in the hood. Keeping you from touching your pecker.
All these ill-guided attempts to quash the human spirit, never gonna work. Never.
Passions need to be put in a box. So the idea for cornflakes began by accident when Kellogg and his younger brother Will Keith Kellogg left some cooked wheat to sit while they attended to some pressing matters at the sanitarium. When they returned, they found that the wheat had gone stale, but being on a strict budget, they decided to continue to process it by forcing it through rollers, hoping to obtain long sheets of the dough. To their surprise, what they found instead were flakes, which they toasted and served to their patients. This event occurred on August 8, 1894, and a patent for flake cereals and process of preparing the same type of food was filed on May 31st, 1895, and issued on April 14th, 1896. So, and actually, Dr. Kellogg introduced Kellogg's cornflakes in hopes that it would reduce dyspepsia and in accordance with the practices of the Seventh-day activists, masturbation and excessive sexual intercourse. So on the seventh day, God rested. On the seventh day, people like to freak. So he tried to erase that. So one of the newspapers actually says, Kellogg's, a suggestion to make a most decisive test of quality. So what do they mean by that? The box is so like Victorian age, like it's just so, there's flowers on it,
yeah,
and everything that's advertising it. I wonder if they advertise that it would stop masturbation. Is your son Jimmy a heavy little masturbator or what? Get him Kellogg. He'll stop touching himself.
Can't keep his hands above the covers.
Cereal's so bland, he'll be working on getting it out of his teeth before he's getting it with his pecker. That's a good commercial.
Jesus.
The flakes of grain, which the Kellogg brothers called granos, were a very popular food among the patients. The brothers then experimented with other flakes from other grains. In 1906, Will Keith Kellogg, who served as the business manager of the sanitarium, decided to try and mass market the new food at his new company, Battle Creek Toasted Cornflake Company. He added sugar to the flakes to make them more palatable to a mass audience, but then caused a rift between his brother and him. In 1907, the same company ran an ad campaign which offered a free box of cereal to any woman who winked at her grocer. To increase sales in 1909, he added a special offer, the Funny Jungle and Moving Pictures booklet, which was made available to anyone that bought 2 boxes of cereal. The same premium was offered for 22 years. At the same time, Kellogg had also been experimenting with new grain cereals to expand his product line, Rice Krispies. And his next great hit first went on sale in 1928. So they've been giving toys out in cereal boxes since 1909.
Actually genius, dude.
2 boxes of cereal, you get a coloring book. What did we go when we got Chick-fil-A? What did I ask for?
You got a fucking
coloring book magazine. What did we go to McDonald's when you got McDonald's this morning? I asked for a toy. I didn't get a toy. But how many times have they been giving a bonus product as a way of coming back and luring back in your audience. Imagine
it's the tried and true way, man.
Instead of promising to you that you're not going to masturbate, you're not going to want to, you also get a freaking coloring book to focus on. So you get a pair of socks if you get 2 boxes. You get a flashlight on the inside. How many times you
get the classic mood ring at the bottom.
How many times when you were a little kid you would eat that box of cereal just to get that toy?
Dude, literally every time.
You literally be like, I'm not hungry for cereal, but I want cereal because I want the toy.
Then you figured out, turn the box upside down. Get the toy first.
What? I didn't know that.
Mom's like, why the fuck is this box of cereal open from the bottom up? I'm like, I don't know.
You can't do that. You can't do that on every single box of cereal.
Not every single one.
Because some of them put it in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like some dude forgot halfway through. Oh shit, forgot to add this guy's light up Incredibles ring. That was always the best feeling though. You're having oh, I gotta go to school, and then you're dumping a bowl of cereal and a toy pops into your bowl. Like, this just made my day better. I'm gonna go to school and flash around, and then you're like, the next day's still gonna suck. Because then you gotta go through that whole box until you get done with it.
Dude, I almost knocked this entire fucking Rockstar all over your table, dude.
Yeah, be careful. Well, there's been many mascots of Kellogg's Corn Flakes. The most popular one is a green rooster named Cornelius Corny Rooster, which had been the mascot since his debut. Cornelius Corny Rooster. I never knew that bird's name.
I never knew his name. I knew him.
Cornelius Rooster, also known as Corny.
Corny the
Now,
rooster.
is it corny to be like sexual preference, or corny to be like the type of product used in cornflakes? It's all about the corn, baby.
This is fucking blowing my mind, man.
It's a good one, dude. You wouldn't expect it from cornflakes. So,
Cornflakes.
in early commercials, he would speak the catchphrase, "Wake up to Kellogg's Cornflakes." Dallas McKinnon and Andy Devine voiced him. Later, he stopped talking and simply just kind of crowed. The concept of using a stylized rooster originated from a suggestion by family friend Nancy Richards, a harpist from Wales and a Welsh language prominent. The Welsh word for rooster is Kellog, also known as Kellogg. In some dialects.
What the fuck? That that is forbidden information, Robbie.
What?
No one's supposed to know the origin of the name Kellogg. You just slipped it out in there, dude.
Who cares? They already know that they're. Well, I guess the masturbation thing's not
Kellogg.
as bad as knowing the true word. So, after the patient at the Battle Creek Sanitarium, CW Post started a rival company to create the other major brand of cornflakes in the United States, Post Toadies or Elijah's Mana. The Australian company Sanitarium Health and Wellbeing also manufactures their own brand of cornflakes called Skippy Cornflakes. Many generic brands of cornflakes are produced by various manufacturers. In addition, Sainsbury, Tesco, Morson's, Ottersta Cooperative and Company have brought out similar products based on cornflakes. A variety of cornflakes that is sold in the United Kingdom is one where honey nut has been added to the cornflakes, soliloquy as honey nut cornflakes, and as crunchy nut under the name Kellogg's brand.
Honey nut cornflakes sounds pretty good.
So a lot of it, when we use it in cooking, we use it as breadcrumbs, some syrups, some dark chocolate, and muffin caps. Like, you use it for...
Cornflakes makes the best fried chicken, dude.
Yeah, like, dude, I mean, it makes... It's that snap and crackle everyone's kind of looking for. It's much like the Butterfinger candy. So cornflakes are actually sweet and flavored with peanut butter and covered in compound chocolate to create the Butterfinger candy bar.
Oh, I never knew that's what the Butterfinger was.
So it's actually part of cornflakes invention.
Dude, all the forbidden knowledge you're dredging up here.
Cornflakes are usually served with cold milk, but sometimes warm or hot. Fruit is a popular addition. Sugar may be added for taste. And quinoa is also cornflakes.
If you're gonna add sugar, just get Frosted Flakes, man.
Yeah, well, it eliminates Kellogg's theory. If you add sugar to it, if you add anything that is slightly delicious or might affect the taste of this bland cereal that tastes like you're just eating shards of glass, it's so good though. You're just
that's the thing.
corn.
It's not like eating shards of glass.
It's
I don't even think that theory is sound.
It's sharp.
I don't even think the theory is sound because it's cornflakes are just good. You know?
They're good any time of night. 2 in the morning, Michael Phelps pours a bowl of Frosted Flakes. You know, he's probably stoned out of his mind. He got in trouble for that. But hey, you know, it's a good cereal. Cereal's always good.
Corn isn't like a bland taste, you know? It's good.
But why do we say cereal's a breakfast food? Why is cereal a breakfast food?
I don't know, man. I think it's probably because it's fast, you know? It's real easy to just prepare. Because lunch, you know, if you make your lunch, you take the time to make it like the night before or in the morning, you know. When you're making breakfast, you got to get out the door. You can just pour a bowl of fucking cereal.
Well, Google says breakfast cereal or cereal is a breakfast food made from processed cereal grains and often eaten for breakfast, primarily in Western societies. It is most often mixed with milk, but also can be eaten with yogurt or fruit. A significant portion of cereals are made up with high sugar content, which is why you need it to get through the day.
That makes a lot of sense.
Why sometimes eggs better?
Well, eggs would have all that. You got a lot of protein, got a lot of carbs.
And okay, so it's all about the nutrition for what you eat through the day is what's going to sustain you to your next meal.
That's why it's the most important meal, dude.
What's your idea of a perfect breakfast?
I don't know. When I wake up, I like making like long grain white rice and putting an egg on it. An egg or two, and then the yolk mixes into the rice. That shit is the best. You get all your carbs, all the protein.
You're going from the nutrition aspect of it.
Real tasty. I put some cayenne pepper on that shit.
Maybe if you were like do you think bouncers at a strip club, before they work, they eat like a bowl of cornflakes?
Dude,
just to stop their urges so they can focus on the job.
Yeah,
they gotta keep the testosterone down.
They don't look at all the thoughts coming in, trying to sneak in there.
It was like, how do I look? Like, I don't care. I had a bowl of cornflakes before I came in here. What does that mean? Are you saying I'm dry and bland like a cereal? Well, yeah. No, I don't want to touch myself no more. Isn't that a crazy idea behind it, man? Jesus. It's just ridiculous to think what some people thought of back in the day.
People like. It's like a comedy show. Just think what people just assumed was the truth back then. Like, yeah, bland shit. Yeah, people won't want to masturbate if they eat some bland food. You know, that probably correlates. What
does that bring into your mind on what other things are out there that might have a hidden agenda behind it? A simple creation. What would you like to think might have one? Well, I want to know who made kombucha. What was that initial thing for?
Dude, those acai berry, dude. I don't know what that's doing.
You know, kombucha has an alcohol content.
It ferments.
It's so extremely low. But it has alcohol in it.
It ferments for an amount of time. So yeah, I see that. Shit.
I want to know who made those naked drinks. Was he thinking that, you know, you drink a nice chopped up thing of fruit, you're not just getting the naked nutrients, you're getting, you're gonna want to ride around the town naked. You feel so good. Yeah. I just drank 10 pounds of spinach and a banana. Well, anybody that found this a little bit interesting, a little bit weird, look up the idea of cornflakes. You might find some other cereals that have been a little bit, have a mixed background. I definitely gave you something to think about every time you go into the store now and pick up a box of cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
You know what I actually just opened up this morning was a box of cornflakes, and it's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, cornflakes, like, this is supposed to help me throughout the day. Time to get my day started.
And you know what? I doubt you've beaten your meat since then, so it's doing its job.
Well, it's still early, but, you know. Thanks for being on this episode of the podcast, and anybody that wants to look up the history of cornflakes, or just type in the secret stuff that's out there in your foods you don't know. I like to think that every food has a crazy little story behind it.